I love wiffle ball. No other way to explain it. Just something about the game, the feel of the grass, smacking the ball all over the field, making plays, diving head first, whatever it takes to get the job done. That's what wiffle ball means to me. Striking out grown men, watching their knees buckle on a called third strike. Sit out, bud. And then, of course, the home runs, the base hits, the big home runs at the big moments. That's a whiff of greatness. Join us all season long for the Joe Aguirre story, a CMG podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Drawing About the G-Men, the Giants football podcast. I'm your host, as always, Big Jace, joined by Joe, Sean, Zay, and Lucas. Lucas is here because later on we're going to have the rematch for the big brain battle for trivia. So stay tuned for that. But we got some Giants news to talk about. And let's start things off. The big signing, the big news. Kenny Golladay is going to be in Big Blue wearing number 0. But so Joe, what do you think of this signing from Kenny Golladay?
I don't love it when a guy's coming off an injury, but let's say when healthy, this guy is straight up a baller. Galladay's a big receiver and a great target, 6'4", 214. He's got a great ability to make contested catches down the field, which is something I think we all can admit the Giants are severely lacking in. I do think he's one of the few guys that people considered a, wide receiver 1 type, so I think unfortunately, like the Nate Solder deal a couple of years ago, the Giants had to overpay to get a guy like this. I don't have a problem with it. Listen, I think when the Giants start winning eventually, they won't have to make overpays for people. Golladay wanted to be in New York. I think that is a good sign, and I know we're going to talk about some of these other free agent signings by the Giants. I like the fact that guys around the league seem to be buying into what the Giants are buying into. That's a good sign.
Yes. Sean, is Golladay going to be that number 1 wide receiver that the Giants need?
Yeah, I think he is. Like Joe said, as long as he stays healthy, I think it was a great pickup. And you're going to have to overpay in free agency for a number 1 receiver, but the salary cap will go up in the next couple of years. Obviously, it went down due to COVID, so some of these salaries might be looking like steals. But I think he is a number 1 receiver. I think that he complements Shepard and Slayton really well. I think that they're all 3 different style receivers. Obviously, Shepard's your slot guy that he's probably the best at getting open. He'll be huge on third downs. And then Slayton's your burner down the field who could take the top off the secondary. And then, like Joe said, Golladay, he's probably one of the best contested catches guys in the league. And we know that Daniel Jones likes to throw into tight spots, tight areas. So I think that will be huge for this team. So I think he complements the other 2 guys really well. So I think the receiving core is definitely vastly improved from what it has been the past couple of years.
Zay, how do you think this puts the Giants in the grand scheme of the NFL? How does Kenny Golladay make the Giants better?
Improves them on offense, at least. It allows them to have someone that will help them score more than 20 points a game, allow them to compete in games. When the NFL right now, we know that most of the NFL is you got to outscore the other team to win. So now the Giants at least have a chance to outscore the other team by adding a weapon who can get outside and catch another big body. Hopefully, like I said, maybe like Joe said earlier, you could move Evan Ingram outside also. And then you have 2 big bodies. and then you could work out a situation there. It kind of feels like that Plaxico Burress situation when he came to the Giants a couple years back, and everybody was worried about Eli, and it was a big year for Eli, and then they got Plex and they figured that out. So it seems like it's history repeating itself. But I think he does make this offense better and allows them to score more points. But as far as there's nothing more than he does for the team.
All right. Trevor, thanks for joining us. What do you think of this end?
Well, Zay, I'm glad you said that about Plax because I saw this on Twitter, and it's actually intriguing. So Plaxico and Golladay joined the Giants at 27. Plax and Golladay both had 2 1,000-yard seasons at 26 or younger. Plax and Golladay were both injured the season before the Giants. Oh, and by the way, Eli was 24, just like Daniel Jones was 24 when he got Kenny Golladay. So this is – and I listened to Jordan Renaud's podcast. Great podcast. Check it out, guys. If you're
Breaking Big Blue.
And he was saying in the beginning of free agency that this was Golladay and bust. I mean, this saves a lot, especially the Adoree Jackson. Going into the draft now, the Giants have loads of options. They can trade back. They can pick up assets. They can bolster the offensive line. They can add to the defensive line. They don't have to go out and go crazy now looking for like a Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle. You got your receiver now, and this opens up everything. And this was all about Daniel Jones, plain and simple. You want this guy to survive? You drafted him a couple years ago, 6, to be the guy for the New York Giants going the next 10 to 12 years. This is what you have to do. I know it's $18 million. It seems a lot, but hey, if you want your guy, got to go pay for him, and they did that. And it's a great signing. You get the number 1 receiver in this free agency class. And how can you not be excited if you're a Giant fan? I mean, this is something to see players like Kyle just said, this was the option he wanted to go without question. Joe Judge has brought something to New York Giant football that we've lacked for quite some time now. People are excited to come back and play for New York Giant football. That gets me excited. I love the move so far from Big Blue.
It's funny, going into the draft, you were wondering whether they would go receiver, whether they would, somewhere along the way go corner, whether that be a second round. I mean, to see the Giants sort of go out and solve all the problems with really good free agent deals, you're exactly right, Trevor. I mean, after all these signings, I thought, oh my God, dude, this really does open up the draft for the Giants. Yep. Trading back wouldn't be a bad thing at this point, too. I mean, I think the one big spot the Giants obviously still need to address is edge rusher. And I think we all agree there's not really a bona fide that's the guy to get. So I think the Giants might move back, and then whoever might be available wherever they move back to, that might end up being the guy, assuming there's somebody there worthy. Or again, you could go offensive line. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Listen, everybody, I think we can all agree. Look, they are setting the table for Daniel Jones. This is make or break, right? Oh, yeah. Like if Holiday goes down in game 2 and Saquon goes down again in game 4, this is it for Jones. He's got everything he needs. Barkley too. Yeah, if he doesn't deliver this year, I really do think that the Giants will strongly consider moving on after this season. Much like, if anybody can remember, that's how the Giants were feeling about Eli Manning at the time. Yep. Is this going to be the guy long term? Got to start winning some games.
And also, they also had a good coach called Tom Coughlin, just like the Giants, who we think looks like a future star in this league.
Yeah, but I mean, Joe, you love to make those parallels, Joe. I mean, you were talking about how the Giants' defense looked like it did in 2007 when they made the Super Bowl run. That did play out. But before we move on from the Kenny Golladay topic, Lucas, Trevor mentioned how bad like the injury history that Golladay has. How will that affect? And is that something you're worried about with this especially with all the money that the Giants gave?
Well, certainly if he gets injured, that makes the money, especially the guaranteed money, seem a little bit not worth it. But I'm not necessarily worried that Kenny Golladay is going to go out there and just, go out there and like snap an ACL or something like that. I have very high confidence that Kenny Golladay is an elite athlete and he'll be able to take care of his body. Yeah, cross your fingers is right, Zay. But I'm not worried about that. Someone I'm more worried about getting injured would be Saquon Barkley, because I think if he goes down again and has another season-ending injury, we shouldn't give him a paycheck. And I think that we waited maybe 1 year too late to get a decent trade package for him. So I think that someone I'd be more worried about getting injured than Kenny Golladay is certainly Saquon Barkley. He needs to have a big season and a healthy season, more importantly.
Saquon Barkley is very much the Aaron Judge. It's sort of, you know what I mean? It's like that's your stud guy. You want to pay him long term, so you know how good he is. He's always hurt. And you're like, it's a tough spot. I mean, again, dude, if Saquon's healthy and Golladay can be that real number one, you can work these other guys in. You can run this offense through Saquon. Jones limits the turnovers. Dude, these guys could be putting up 30 points a game. There's no reason why they can't. You know, sky's the limit. But again, this is all resting on Daniel Jones right now.
And, you know, every time I see a running back sign a big contract, I see this graphic on whether it be Instagram or Twitter, and it's the salary of the starting running back from every Super Bowl in the last 10 years. I don't think a single one of them made over $2.5 million. So I think that running back paying for a running back tends to hurt teams. So I think that in the future, if not paying Saquon is an option, that route is something the Giants should explore.
Here's my only. Oh, go ahead, Zay. My bad.
I was just gonna say the Giants start off 0-5 and the run game looks horrible. Do you look to move Saquon, or do you try to keep him going?
I don't know if at that point would there be any takers on if you can't even run the ball. I mean,
I'm sure there's a contender out there that will take him.
And that
just needs to do that.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's the most important thing going in. I know they got all these great weapons. Yeah, so did the Kansas City Chiefs. And look how they performed in the Super Bowl. You would need to have still the offensive line. I think we all can agree that this offensive line is still a big question mark. And that's why a couple weeks ago said the Giants should go offensive line. You guys killed them for it. Doesn't look too half bad right now, boys.
Yeah.
Well, again,
I was gonna.
Dude, hold on. Not for nothing. Not for nothing.
Siding with Jace? Wow.
Not for nothing. Yeah, you're not siding with Jace. You're siding with Jace in the past. If you would have told me they were going to sign all these guys and go offensive line, yeah, oh, sure. If the Giants go tackle or guard in this draft or grab us, yes, I would be very happy with that now because now you've already addressed all the areas of concern. And for me, you know, the big concern about Waddle or Smith or what's the other guy? Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Any one of those guys, you assume they're going to be studs. Every now and again, some of the guys don't pan out. And you always have to worry about whether that's the guy you end up with. At least in Golladay, right, you know you got a proven guy. In Jackson, you've got a proven guy at corner to play alongside everybody. So, yeah, again, I mean, Jace was sort of right, Sean, and I hate to say that, but, I mean, it does put the Giants in that kind of spot.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, obviously, we all say that it's a big year for Daniel Jones, which it completely is. He doesn't really have any excuses now, but I do believe that the O-line, I mean, this is Daniel Jones' third year, and it hasn't gotten any better since his rookie season, I believe. I mean, right now, they're so young and raw. Andrew Thomas, he looked better at the end of the year, but he had a bad rookie year. Matt Parrott still hasn't had really any starting experience. Shane Lemieux is a terrible pass blocker. Will Hernandez, he had a great rookie year, but after that, he hasn't really shown anything. And Nick Gates is probably the guy who I'm most confident in, and it's only his second year starting at center in his entire football career. So there's definitely a lot of question marks on this O-line. And while I think, you know, having better receivers will, you know, they'll get open faster, which, you know, Daniel Jones won't have to hold on to the ball for so long. But I do still worry about this O-line, especially in passing a lot.
Give him another year. You got to give him another year. There was too much going on this year with COVID and no training camps and OTAs, everything being virtual. Rookies didn't come in early like normal. So you got to give them another year, give them a full off season, a full training camp with the offensive line coach to figure things out. And then we'll see what we got. But to judge rookies right now, when it was basically a micro off season, it's hard to do that. And plus you had no preseason games.
It was even worse for Andrew Thomas because he missed most of his last year in college too to an injury. So I agree with that, Zay, a lot.
Give him time. The NFL speed is completely different than the college speed. It takes time. Edge rushers are going to rush completely different. It's completely, it's a whole different game. Give him time.
Yeah, and but before we move on from the offense, there was another big signing, kind of big, in Kyle Rudolph. I know there were some issues with him coming off a injury. He might have needed surgery for it, but he failed the physical. But now they figured it out. They're signing him. He is officially a Giant. So now a lot of people, I think a couple weeks ago we were talking about should the Giants get Kyle Pitts. Joe, you said it before the show. Yeah, the Kyle Pitts things.
That's out the window. That is completely out the window now. There is, again, I don't think Pitts will even be there at 11, but that aside, I think this all but seals it. Look, I think like with Golladay, you're getting a pretty proven commodity, a guy who's great down in the red zone, something the Giants severely need. This also allows you to run 2 tight end sets, and one of them not having to be Smith or what's the other guy's name? Lavello. Right. I feel a lot better thinking about Rudolph on the other side, or even letting Engram split out in red zone situations. I think this is a really good pickup for the Giants, assuming he stays healthy. Had a pretty decent year last year, so yeah, I think there could be something to be had here with Kyle Rudolph.
Also, like we spoke about with Kenny Golladay, he is that big guy, and the red zone, the Giants have been lacking in productivity in the red zone because they don't have that big guy to go to. I remember always picking Kyle Rudolph on my fantasy team, and he'd have like three receptions, 3 yards, and like a TD. So we need a guy like that, a short yardage guy. I mean, obviously he's not going to be the number one guy, but still, even to have a guy who knows where it is, like a Golden Tate was, a guy that knows where the yardage is, where he needs to get to, and have him be a big body like that. I like that a lot. Sean, what do you think of all this stuff around him with the signing, like the failed physical, the apparent injury? How do you think that's going to affect him as a whole coming in?
It's definitely concerning. I didn't know about that till a couple of days ago, till I saw the Mike Garafolo report. But I mean, I believe in the Giants, training staff. I believe that, past them in the physical, that Ronnie Barnes has been the Giants trainer for a very long time. So I have trust in him that, if he cleared him, that I think he's good to go. So it was a little bit concerning when I saw that, but I think that, I have trust in the Giants system. And I think, like you guys were saying, it's good to get 2 really good red zone targets in one off season. I think that will help Daniel Jones a lot. And also, he's a really good blocker as well. So we know that Evan Ingram, isn't a tremendous block. He's gotten better over the years, but he's still not great at blocking at tight end. So it gives us another blocker who's sure-handed as well. He doesn't drop as many passes as Evan Ingram. So I think he's a good, solid veteran to bring in and, try and help Evan Ingram along. And I know that, Jason Garrett loves his double tight end set, so I think we're going to see a lot more of that this year.
Yeah. Zay, I know you've been very big against Evan Ingram's run blocking. So do you think Rudolph will help out with that?
Yeah, I definitely think he will. And I think having Rudolph on the field, it now makes the defense have to think more. Because when you have Evan Ingram out there, you're so sure that he's not a good run blocker, that for the most part, he's going to be out there going out for a pass. So you're not really worried about him blocking when he's out there for run plays. So now you have Kyle Rudolph out there who could do both. It makes the defense have to think more. And then I think it comes down to, like Sean said, Jason Garrett being tricky with the offense, how he disguises his tight end sets, how he puts Kyle Rudolph out there, puts him in places to get open, and just makes him, another weapon Daniel Jones can use. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, Lucas, you're rocking the Danny Dimes jersey there. How do you think Kyle Rudolph will synergize with Daniel Jones?
I think they'll work pretty good together. I mean, he was doing pretty well with Kirk Cousins down in Minnesota, and Kirk Cousins and Daniel Jones are very close in my book. I know a lot of people rank Kirk Cousins very highly, but I think he's very inconsistent, as is Daniel Jones. But I think with time, Daniel Jones can get better. But Kyle Rudolph, like you guys were saying, he's a great ad. Obviously, a better blocker than Evan Ingram. And if Evan Ingram caught that one pass against the Eagles last year, we would have went to the playoffs. I mean, just having a guy like Sean said who's sure-handed and doesn't drop a lot of passes is so important. Putting him down in the red zone he's had some amazing catches. I know you guys have seen him, but some of the back of the end zone, reaching out with one hand and grabbing it, pulling it in. He's just a great guy to have down in the red zone. And I believe he's a great locker room presence as well. So I think overall I'd give this signing a B plus, big B plus for the Giants.
I know it's weird, just a weird point, but would it be weird if the Giants, with Kyle Rudolph now being able to package maybe Evan Ingram and the number 11 pick and get something better? Because at this point, maybe I don't think you need Evan Ingram. Maybe you could move up and get Kyle Pitts or something. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't think you need Evan Ingram at this point. Or maybe it's just me wanting to get rid of him. But I really do think you could do so much with that and having Kyle Rudolph. I think it makes it more flexible at that position, which you can do.
I think there'd be a lot of takers on Evan Ingram. I do. And the 11th pick obviously is a very valuable spot to be in that draft. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't think it's very likely that happens.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying, Zay, but I think Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman, they both speak very highly of Evan Ingram. When Joe Judge had his press conference the other week, he spoke very highly of him, and he said that he was in the plans for the future. So I'm with you. I think that Evan Ingram's inconsistency definitely worries me a lot. But I just think that I think that he's here to stay, at least for this next season coming up.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we will see. Only time will tell with that. But now, let's shift over to the other side of the football. Talk about we mentioned it a couple times. Adoree Jackson, the big signing for the Giants to add to that secondary. And there are reports coming out that Jabril Peppers and Logan Ryan were in Adoree Jackson's ear. So we'll start with you this time, Sean. What do you think of this signing, and how will he synergize with the rest of the Giants secondary?
I like this signing a lot. Like you said, he's got a good relationship with Logan Ryan. They were teammates in Tennessee. He's good friends with Jabril. Also, Darnay Holmes and him are very tight. They both grew up in Southern California. And then you have Leonard Williams, who went to USC, so they have that connection. So I think he'll fit in the locker room really well. And then on top of that, on the field, I think that it's a great signing. Obviously, in his first couple of years, he was one of the best young corners in the league. Unfortunately, the last 2 years he was dealing with a knee injury. But if you could get back to full health, I think that him and Bradbury could be easily, one of the best corner duos in the league. And I think the secondary as a whole definitely has a lot of potential. I think that they're easily a top 5 unit right now. I think they have a chance to be maybe even the best secondary in football, which is definitely some high praise. But I do think that I could see it. I mean, Xavier McKinney will be back hopefully for a whole season this year. He looked really good down the stretch, and then obviously if Adoree Jackson stays healthy, I think this group definitely has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I mean, this defense was what carried them and what brought the Giants to very, very close to getting into the playoffs. Zay, will Adoree Jackson help be the key that the Giants need to make the playoffs?
I don't know if he'll be the key, but I think he'll be a part of he'll be one part of that key of the Giants getting to the playoffs. I think the big thing is Patrick Graham's defense is really good, and people that he finds a way to get these players and plug them into positions and make them successful. And I think that's the important part. So I think even though a lot of people complaining that the Giants might have overpaid for Adoree Jackson and Malcolm Butler was the number 1 corner, they should have went after him and he's still on the market. I think that Patrick Graham's system, Adoree Jackson will fit in perfectly, and he'll be able to help the Giants possibly move up from a number 7 pass defense to, like Sean said, a number 1 or 2 pass defense in the league next year.
All right. Lucas, what do you think of the Adoree Jackson?
I love it. I mean, you saw a guy like Bradbury last year. He was obviously one of the most important players on that Giants defense, and you saw teams kind of staying away from him as much as they could, going picking on guys like Lewis and Yadam. But now we have that solid number 2 cornerback where you kind of feel like teams don't have that easy out, not throwing a target at James Bradbury. So I think the 1-2 combination of Bradbury and Adoree Jackson is fantastic. I think it's just what this secondary needed to kind of take them to the next level. I think this is probably one of the better secondaries in the NFC, if not the NFL. So I think that there's going to be great things to come. This was already a top 10 defense coming out of last season. And I think that they're just going to go to higher places after that Adoree Jackson signing.
All right, Joe, where does the Giants defense fit in all the NFL? Like Lucas said it last year, top 10. Does this signing, can this elevate them to a top 5? Can they be one of the best defenses in the league?
When the Giants re-signed Logan Ryan, I saw some people that were a little bent out of shape about it. Thought it was kind of a, that his contract and the fact that the Giants didn't cut him was problematic.
What?
Dude, I saw a lot of people that were like, the Giants should go out and get a real cornerback. And so for the Giants to, again, in a million years, if you told me the Giants were going to sign a cornerback this offseason, my thought would have been they don't have the money. Right? It was, are they going to re-sign Leonard Williams or Dalvin Tomlinson? Not both. Right? That was the talk going into this. So for me, the fact that the Giants were able to get a legit, cornerback, to add to already a great secondary, with Logan Ryan and Darnay Holmes. I mean, the secondary's got depth. It's got nickel guys. I mean, this is. I want to say this was the strength of the Giants' defense, but you couldn't tell that last year. You couldn't tell that last year because outside of Leonard Williams, you really weren't getting much of a pass rush. I mean, he was really the main bringer of the heat. And so, again, these guys end up getting exposed downfield. DeAndre Baker being out killed the Giants last year. I mean, he's not that he's anything special, but the quality that the Giants went with on the opposite side of Bradbury last year was poor at best for most of the year. And as this defense got better, Peppers, I think was hurt to start the season. And then Xavier McKinney came in at the end. You just saw this secondary coming together. Jackson just really, to me, again, this blew my mind. Didn't see it coming. I think if you look at this Giants defense, like Lucas said, top 10 defense. There's no reason why this can't be a top 5 defense. I mean, these guys are really good, and they're young, and they're really talented, and God only knows what the draft might bring.
Yeah. And Trev, you mentioned how badly the Giants need a pass rusher. But say they don't get a pass rusher. Say they do something wild. Can this core, can what the Giants have right now, can that compete for that top to be one of the top defenses without that one pass rusher? I mean, I know they signed Ryan Anderson, who could help them, but without that elite pass rusher, can they be?
Well, here's the thing. You don't need always an elite pass rusher to be great as long as you have depth. Like the Giants back then, when even in the 80s, they always had depth. Even when 07 and 11, they always had depth in the defensive line. The Giants have depth. I know losing Dalvin Tomlinson's a big loss, but Austin Johnson, his time is now. This is a huge opportunity for him to fill that role with Dex and Leonard Williams. I love this defense overall because the youth. It's so young. I think Logan Ryan may be the oldest player on this defense. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this defense is extremely young. They're athletic. Oh, and by the way, Adoree Jackson, he could also play in the return game too. So that's also a big part. And when he came out, the Giants were interested in drafting him, but there at the time. So, I mean, this is a great signing. I know I saw like an article the other day that says, oh, this could have very similar situations to the 16 class when they got Vernon, Jenkins, and Snacks. But I was like, the one big difference is they don't have Ben Wackadoo. They have Judge. They have a coach. They have a coach that takes care of business. They have a leader. They have a man. They have a man that people are buying into the concept. They're buying into Jason Garrett. That's why Kyle Rudolph's there. That's why Kenny Golladay wanted to go there from the start. And now that's why Adoree Jackson is now officially a New York Giant. It's all about the culture. And this was the most important thing that I kept saying last year. I know the Giants at times stunk, but they had a culture. There was a direction going in the right in a positive way. Previous of last year, I think we could all agree that we were just saying, what is this team going to be like for the next 10 years? Are we going to have another quarterback? Is Saquon going to be around? Now with this coach, with Joe Judge there and this whole coaching staff that are buying into the culture, that's where you want to be. And the Giants are going in the right direction. And if you're a Giant fan, I said in the start, how can you not be excited for this? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, and I mean, let's go around the horn here, and Joe, starting off with you. Where does where do the signings, where does everything right now put the Giants overall in the grand scheme of the NFL? Are they a wild card contender? Do they have the NFC East on lock? Can they make some noise in the playoffs? What are your expectations for the Giants going forward after free agency thus far?
I would say the Giants have to be considered a playoff contender, at least a wild card team. Again, this division could be historically bad again, or it could get good again quickly. Dak is back in Dallas. You know, love him or hate him, the guy does light up the scoreboard. Washington's a better team than they were a year ago, even though they still really don't have their quarterback situation resolved. Same thing with the Eagles. So by default, I think the Giants are the most complete and best team in this division right now. What that means record-wise, I couldn't tell you. Could this team go 4-12? Yeah, probably could. I don't think that's going to be the case. You know, look, to me, Leonard Williams has to be Leonard Williams. He really made that defense move towards the elite level. Daniel Jones has to be the guy on offense. If he can't do it, to me, those two guys are the two most important guys on either side of the football. If those guys have good seasons, the Giants will win the division and the Giants will contend for the NFC. Whether they can get to that elite level, I think that's going to be something they would need to develop throughout the course of the season and into a nice playoff run. But I think the talent is there and the coaching is clearly there. This comes down to Daniel Jones. But to me, if you get a Leonard Williams that's not as productive as he's been the last couple of years, and that doesn't necessarily mean sacks, that means being the pressure guy, getting up that middle, being that disruption, so that this secondary, you got some playmakers back there now, man. You got some playmakers. This is the most playmakers any Giants secondary has ever had in my entire life. This is the best secondary they've ever put together on paper, mind you. Let's see what happens when it's game time, but on paper, I'm blown away. The Giants, in my lifetime, the Giants have never had a better secondary. Not in 86, not in 90, not in 2000. This is the best secondary they have ever had.
All about the execution now.
Yeah, keep thinking about it, Chase. You'll never come up with the answer. This is the best secondary. Bro, believe me. Remember last week we talked about, I said the Bears have never had a good quarterback. The Giants have just historically never had great secondaries. It was always linebackers,
never elite.
always linebackers and linemen for the Giants, and the secondary was, you know, you got guys like Sean Williams over the years, and
everything always looked good in the secondary because of the pass rush.
Webster, Pro Bowler for
there you go.
years.
But Joe,
dude, listen
Joe,
again. Jason Sehorn, Corey Webster. Dude, there has not been. The Giants have never had an elite corner until Bradbury. Never. Not one elite cornerback has ever been a Giant.
Jason Sehorn.
Jackrabbit.
Jason Sehorn was
I
not.
lost all my respect to Jason Sehorn when he played against the Baltimore Ravens and almost scrapped his pants.
Jason Sehorn, I lived it, was a white cornerback, and people were fascinated by it. He really wasn't as good as I think people made him out to be. And then after he got hurt, he was never the same. So again, the Giants have never had an elite cornerback. Felipe Sparks, that's another good one. Not elite. I don't think Felipe ever went to a Pro Bowl. The Giants have historically not had great secondary. Didn't need it.
The only reason why they were good is because of that pass rush. It makes everything easier for secondaries when you have a pass rush getting.
In 1986, the Giants' starting free safety was a guy named Terry Kennard. Anybody remember that name? Terry Kennard, wore number 43. Bill Parcells' nickname for him was Toast because he always got burned. The Giants, that secondary in 86 was mediocre at best. Again, if you can get pressure on the quarterback, your linebackers are making plays. It doesn't matter who's back there.
Exactly.
But what you got back there now, you're talking about an elite level secondary on top of a great young defensive line and really solid linebacking. This could be one of the better Giant defenses ever.
With a good defensive coordinator, too.
With a great defensive coordinator, and believe me, I've seen all the great defenses. All of them. This one has the potential. Again, on paper, this looks like this could be historically good.
How
could they go 4-12? It's in the realm of possibility, unfortunately.
Not
anymore.
No, it's impossible. They're guaranteed 6 wins this year.
I agree with Zay.
They guaranteed 6 wins. Are you watching?
Then Daniel Jones is gone if there's 6-10 again.
Listen,
listen.
Hold on, can I just
you go bet your ass on that
Zay,
one?
let me just say, I'm not 100% convinced that Daniel Jones is up to the task. I think he is. I want him to be, but it's possible he comes out year 3, and it don't go so well. You're investing a lot of money. They're investing a lot of money in these weapons. You got to consider what's going to happen after next year with Saquon. He's got to win now. I disagree with you that he doesn't get another year. This is it.
I agree with you, but I don't think he has to throw 4,000 yards this year. I think he could still win this division easily.
I don't care how many yards he throws for. I want wins. I don't. If he throws for 14 touchdowns and they go 10-6, that's great.
He's got to be at least a game manager.
Look at the division. The Cowboys, the worst secondary probably in football, did nothing. They added Keanu Neal. That's all they did this offseason, who's coming off an ACL tear, who's absolutely terrible in coverage in the first place. Then let's go to the Redskins, who added a journeyman quarterback. They added a receiver, but it doesn't matter because their quarterback is terrible, and the Giants bolstered their secondary for that reason to put up with all the firepower that these teams have. And then when you look at the Eagles, they're a crap fire who don't know who they're starting at quarterback, and their best option probably might be Joe Flacco, who's looking like the backup right now. There's no reason why the Giants should not win this division handedly. Absolutely handedly.
Zay, I'll do you one better. There's no reason they shouldn't have won it last year, and they didn't. And that's that's my point.
Last year, you could make the excuse of new offense, new coach, new offensive coordinator, young offensive line.
Right, and now all of those problems are gone. So now what?
So there shouldn't be an issue this year. It shouldn't be an issue.
Agreed.
I think Daniel Jones could just like Lucas said, manage games, and the Giants could still win out this division and still win about 10 games this year. I think they can win all their division games and pull out 4 games out of their ass. See it.
Yeah, I think the Giants will definitely contend, but I wouldn't say that handily. I think that Washington football team, their defense is legit, and Fitzpatrick, I mean, he's obviously inconsistent, but when he's on, he could be on fire. And they also got Curtis Samuel, and then the Cowboys. I'm not worried about the Eagles. I'll throw them out of the situation, but the Cowboys, I mean, if their defense could just hold people under 30 points a game, I mean, they're going to score points. So I mean, really, that's all they need. So I agree that the Giants will definitely contend for the NFC East again this year, but I wouldn't just throw those teams out of the equation.
They couldn't stop the Giants from scoring 30 points a game last year. They're going to do it with Keanu Neal coming off a torn. The Cowboys. What's the game like 30? What was? I got to check.
The first game, 35-31, we lost.
Yeah, okay. The Giants scored 31 points. The Giants, who don't score points, scored 31 points against the Cowboys, who did nothing to make that defense better.
But they're getting Dak back though. That's for a whole season.
They're getting Dak back. We don't know what Dak they're getting back.
Probably the one that throws a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, and throws and leads the league.
You hope. They have a terrible offensive line. You just hope he's mobile this year.
They were hurt. I wouldn't say they were hurt last year. La'el Collins was hurt. Tyron Smith was hurt. Zach Martin was hurt for a lot of the year. So they're definitely getting older. They're not as good as they were, but I wouldn't say they're a terrible O-line though.
Unreliable running back.
I don't disagree with that one.
Saquon and Daniel Jones have been unreliable too.
Yeah, they have. I couldn't agree with you more. But guess what? I put my money more on Daniel Jones being completely healthy than a Dak Prescott, and I don't know what I'm going to get exactly. That injury didn't look too great. We're not talking about a rolled ankle.
According to Tony Romo, it was just a cramp.
It was a cramp.
But all right, Lucas, who is the toughest? Who is going to be the roadblock for the Giants when it comes to winning this division? Who's going to give them the hardest time?
The division, all right, if it's the division, we're talking Washington. I mean, like Sean said, they have an elite defense. They have Terry McLaurin, who is a very, very talented wide receiver. They signed Curtis Samuel, someone who has been coached by Ron Rivera before with the Panthers. so he obviously knows what's
Buckeye
going
boys.
on down there, right?
Actually, yeah.
And Ryan Fitzpatrick, we saw last year, he won the Dolphins some games single-handedly, just coming in relief of, even if it was in relief of Tua, just coming in and getting the job done. I think Fitzpatrick, he does throw interceptions, but I think he also knows how to, take the deep shot when it's necessary and lead a offense down the field for a scoring drive when they need it. So Washington definitely sends some chills down my spine, but I also don't think it's anything that we can't handle. We beat them twice last year. They have gotten better, but we usually have our way with them. So
yeah, we own Washington.
If we can beat them in our first matchup next season,
Only Daniel Jones owns.
Yeah, right. We can beat them in our first matchup next season pretty handedly. I'll have confidence that the Giants should run away with this division with no competition.
All right. Now let's shift focus a little bit more so over to the draft. Trevor, you brought it up earlier. Well, are you taking an O-lineman at 11 for the Giants?
I mean, it depends who's there. If Slater's there, you have to seriously contemplate taking him because I obviously think Sewell, I think I fucking agree, Sewell should be gone by then. But if Sewell's there, the Giants should, Dave Gettleman should make the selection for match 6. Goodell, stay back. I'll take the selection. I mean, that's the best offensive lineman I would say there. I don't think Darrisaw from Virginia Tech is – I wouldn't take him that high, or the kid Tucker from USC. I've heard a lot of good things about him, but I wouldn't. If that was the case, I would try to trade back. If the Giants had offers from like the Patriots or Washington or even the Cardinals, a couple trades that I saw with them, and they give you something that, hey, you can't refuse, I mean, why not? Trade back, pick up more assets, be like the Jets. I mean, that's why the Jets are in a I know we're talking about the Jets. I brought up the Jets and a good situation, but look at all the draft picks they have. I mean, it's crazy how many draft picks they have from trading back and making good decisions based off of that. If the Giants don't have anybody they like there, then why not just trade back? But if Slater's there, you might have to contemplate it because he could play guard and he could play tackle. And from what we've seen, Matt Pert, yeah, he could be the future, but we're still not sold on him. Nick Gates, Lemieux, Nate Soldier, Will Hernandez, all question marks. Even Andrew Thomas right now, all have like some sort of question marks. You're coming into this season. I know that we've been talking about the Giants now. They could be a favorite in the NFC East. But I don't care how great that defense is. I don't care how great the weapons are. If their offensive line is still trash, it's just going to be another long and miserable year. Don't expect good things then. So if Slater's there, take him. Take the best offensive lineman at that time.
All right, Joe, if they're – where else would they look? I mean, obviously, you brought up the fact.
Let me tell you something. Don't even ask the question. I'm going to sort of build off of what Trevor just said. There's not even any reason to ask it. I would say this, Trevor. Tell me if you agree or disagree.
Yeah.
Quarterback, running back, defensive line are the only three areas that would not be under consideration right now.
For the Giants?
For the Giants. I think, to me, anything else basically that comes up at number 11, I think the Giants would – okay. All right, fair enough.
Secondary now.
Fair enough. Let's throw the secondary out there.
I would even say receiver, Joe, because they have depth now. I mean, even not to that, you have depth. So I wouldn't even consider. I mean, if Devontae Smith is there or Waddle, it'd be hard to pass up on.
Right, maybe. That's what I'm saying. But so again, I mean, literally, the positions that absolutely they will not draft in are quarterback, running back, and defensive line. 1,000%.
D-line is
interior. You mean right? Like
yes, interior D-line, correct. Yes, obviously they still need an edge rusher. So I mean, I think that's got to be the focus. Again, I love the idea of an offensive tackle at this point. I really do. If Slater's putting it like this, remember last year how upset I was at Andrew Thomas. I really wanted Isaiah Simmons. So I wanted a big playmaker on defense, and I was like, all right, I could live with Andrew Thomas. And then he ended up being the worst of the bunch of tackles that got drafted. But whatever. I'm not saying I was right. I'm just saying I felt like that was just not a great first round pick for the Giants. And hopefully I'll be proven wrong if he gets it together. And it probably was the right move because let's be honest, they do need to protect Daniel Jones. Yeah. If they go offensive line in this draft, I will be on my yes. Come on, that would be.
But the good thing is in this class, there's a lot of depth in offensive line too.
Yeah,
Sure. Look, I mean, again, they may use multiple picks in this draft to add more depth to that line. And if somebody doesn't perform, you're out. They're not crazy about Will Hernandez anymore. I mean, he's probably the next guy to play his way out of town. So maybe they go guard second, third, fourth round. If there's depth out there, they're looking to add depth. You did a nice job with Pert at 5. Why not? There's a lot that could be done here. Again, these signings to me, where you really, other than defensive pass rush or defensive end rather, to me, they address the major concerns on this team on paper.
Yeah.
Right? Again, whether Daniel Jones the right guy or not, he'll prove it. But on paper, everything but edge rusher. You can add depth anywhere now in this draft. Like I said, to me, any pick at any position, I'd be like, no, it's a good one. To me, this Giants team is now just loading in talent and depth, and I think that's great. Again, Joe Judge saw that in New England for so long, where you just plug another guy in. That's what depth gives you.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, all right, let's address.
Jace,
Yes.
put it like this.
No, I get what you're saying.
If Joe Judge would have said to you, I'm going to come in and have an offensive line rotation, what would you have said?
A
rotation? What is this, high school?
Yeah, I did
What
that.
are we,
in high
we're
school.
subbing guys in and out? That doesn't
I had a
seem.
D-line rotation. It worked.
But sure, listen.
No, D line's one thing.
Absolutely.
O-line,
But I'm just saying, you don't really see that with O-lines. But what happens when Joe Madden starts shifting off, the infield to right? You'd start doing things and it works. And so if an offensive line rotation of like 7 or 8 guys, it great. What again, like Trevor said, whatever protects Daniel Jones and allows him to get the ball to all of these talented guys is the only way this team is going to be successful.
Yeah.
All right. Joe and Trevor have been so offensive minded here. Sean, defensively, who are the Giants picking in the draft when it comes to
I think Rousseau from Miami has the best upside as a pass rusher. Obviously, it's not super. There's not a lot of strength at the top of the draft, in terms of edge rusher, and it has to be a guy who can play outside linebacker because we do with Patrick Graham's system. He runs a 3-4, so I mean, they don't really depend on DNs other than Leonard Williams to rush the passer, and guys like Lorenzo Carter and O'Shane Zimenez, hopefully. They could turn it around and get healthy from last year, and they could give us some production. But I think that's definitely the weakest part of this defense right now is the outside linebacker position. So, I mean, that's one spot that I think definitely needs some help. And if we're not going to go O-line at that spot, and if Waddle or Smith isn't there, then I think we have to go edge rusher, or maybe like Trevor said, trade back. I know that Gettleman isn't a big, he doesn't love trading back. He hasn't done it really in the past, but I think he should definitely look at it. He should definitely look at it this year. If there's not a guy that they want there.
Zay, you brought up a trade earlier with Ingram.
I feel like that's directed at me. There, you wanted Haskins too.
100%.
I might have been a little vocal about it.
I can't say much. I wanted Haskins too.
I really thought he was going to be a superstar. It saddens me. It really does.
I wanted Devin White.
It's not over for him.
Oh, so did I.
No chance. It's not over for him.
Yeah,
We'll see.
it is.
On the Steelers now.
Hold on, I want to get back on to this trade.
Jace, can I ask you something?
Yo,
Didn't you want the Giants to draft offensive line a couple weeks ago when I defended you? Now you're going against me? This is why I don't defend you.
I want them. There's other options.
I
trying
see.
to let other people.
Now hold back to being a
I'm
heel.
John Stockton. I'm distributing the ball. I'm letting other people shoot. Zay, you brought up the idea of a trade. Ingram and that 11th pick. Could they use that to trade up and get Kyle Pitts? And would you be okay with that, Zay?
I'd be all for it. I mean, I'm not an Evan Ingram fan. To me, I think he's the fakest Pro Bowler in NFL history. But if you trade up that high,
might have to go all the way almost to 2. I swear to God, I think the Jets have to consider taking Pitts at 2. I know it sounds crazy.
yeah, I don't think it'd be possible because, like he said, Pitts is going to go fast, and if it's like the mock drafts have a heavy quarterback in the beginning. Some have Pitts early. So it's all about where the Giants trade up and who they trade up with, because just to trade up would be pointless. If you're going to trade up and get nobody, that would be stupid. You could keep Evan Ingram. I think if you trade up, you have to have a reason to trade up. If you're not going to, at that point, you could trade back. Maybe trade him for, I don't know.
If I would trade up, if the only reason I would trade up for Sewell.
I'm not mad at that. I like that.
I would trade up for Sewell. That would be the only player. Because honestly, the weapons that are surrounded, even with Ingram now, it takes so much pressure having Kyle Rudolph there. Trust me. I feel like Ingram's going to bounce back with the Rudolph signing. They have weapons now. If you could just get that protection, you get Sewell and Andrew Thomas. You could put Andrew Thomas at right tackle, have Sewell as your left tackle. I mean, as a Giant fan, you'd be like, okay, now we're starting to go. Now it looks like we're in business.
You can't bounce back from not having hands. There's no bounce back from not having hands.
You ever see the replacement? Just give him super glue.
This is not the little Giants. He's not going to get like the sticky stuff on his chest. It's not going to work for him.
You ever seen the replacements?
Yes, I've seen the replacements.
Come on, you got to be like Franklin. It's super glue.
It's not going to work. I don't believe he's a playmaker. I think he's built to be a playmaker. I just don't think he is one. Sorry. Some players are just like that.
I get that. But before we move on from the draft, Lucas, is there anyone that catches your eye?
I mean, a week ago before we signed, what's his face, Adoree Jackson, I would have said take a corner. Patrick Surtain out of Alabama and Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech took my eye. But now I just think I think the best option is to trade back. And like Sean said, Gettleman's been reluctant to do that in the past, but I think that's really the Giants' best option here to get some value out of that 11th overall pick in this draft.
All right. So we will see. Only time will tell. But that's going to do it for Giants Talk. Trev, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, boys.
And stick around. Make sure you watch the Battle of the Brain coming up as we got Joe and Sean.
Wait, what is that? What does that mean? The Battle of
watch.
You don't understand. It's the Battle of the Brain.
Yeah.
We got to
stay tuned.
Are you on staying live or are you like going to another show?
No. We're staying live, but just watch.
Okay. I got to watch.
But before we do that, here's Lil.
Oh,
he froze.
No.
Chase, he froze.
We lost our Alex.
Overcrest Media Group presents a CMG podcast. Keys to the City.
Keys to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know.
Crossed up by Kobe, little floated to Shaq, and then Shaq goes like this, and the rest is history. Pay attention. Don't tell me what to do, devil woman. But speaking of those Lakers, hold on. But I didn't make my. I said Denver's gonna win. Yeah, you did. You said that. There's no other show like that. Clovercrest is doing great things right now.
Streaming everywhere.
Jace is doing the Frozen Man challenge. He's getting really good at this. Well, that's a bummer. I don't know if we're going to be able to do our trivia bit as Jace has literally the worst internet in the entire universe. Trevor, this is actually a good opportunity to tell you this. We are Automars is working on a new theme song for you guys. Freshen it up.
Oh, us?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yes. I got you a little gift. I thought you guys could use a new theme song. So
is it more of a Florida tune? More Florida?
It's gonna be a little more sunshine since look how tan he looks, right? So
I'm
good.
I'm not that tan. Not that tan.
You look tanner than me. Well, Jace is Jace back. Let's see.
Jace coming back. There he is. Jace, what the hell is going on here?
Guys, I accidentally unplugged my internet. But before we get to the big brain battle,
so what the hell?
I accidentally unplugged your internet.
All right, you know what?
Overcrest Media Group presents a CMG podcast. Keys to the City.
Keys to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know.
Crossed up by Kobe, little floated to Shaq, and then Shaq goes like this, and the rest is history. Pay attention. Don't tell me what to do, devil woman. But speaking of those Lakers, hold on. But I didn't make my. I said Denver's gonna win. Yeah, you did. You said that. There's no other show like that. Clovercrest is doing great things right now.
Streaming everywhere.
All right.
Get the double
Here we
plug
go.
for Keys to the City.
Oh, should we do
I
that?
got double. Wow.
No. All right. But hold on. All right. Big Jason's big brain battle. We got Joe and Sean taking on Zay and Lucas. Zay and Lucas won last time.
Let's go, Joe.
So,
I'm ready.
Lucas,
how do you guys feel? Joe, Sean, you guys ready to get your revenge?
As
feel confident.
overconfident as ever.
I mean, not seeing the topics makes me a little nervous, but hey,
yeah, Lucas is the MVP anyway, so I feel confident as long as I got the MVP.
What topic do you feel most strong? What one are you most looking forward to, Joe? If you had to pick a topic, if I said, "Yo, what topic do you want?" Which one would you pick?
I could handle any topic. Topic. Wiffle ball is my specialty, but yeah, no baseball. I mean,
If it's Gary Sanchez, he's the best at it.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
Oh, brother.
I see your fantasy team. Baseball is not your expertise. Oh.
Now, Luke. All right, let's dive into it. Starting off, well, rules obviously. Coin toss to see who goes first. 7 rounds, 2 questions per round, 30 seconds per question. Any missed question, the opponent can steal. You got 15 seconds to steal. Every person individually has a double. So if you had like a topic before we even get going, you can double that topic just for your question. So let's start things off with the coin toss. Just like last time, open up Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and your answer to this must be in the comments to get the win. You guys all ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, open up all those.
No, one. Just one. I just need to be able to pull it up.
I was joking. It was a joke.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. All right. But here we go. Who is the 4th all-time in passing yards at NC State, but he finished his college career at Wisconsin?
My answer's in there.
That's not fair. I don't move fast enough.
Oh no! Lucas got it first.
Yes.
No, what? Mine popped up first on the screen.
No, Lucas is in there.
No, Lucas got it first.
Look in the
Lucas got it
comments.
first
I spelled his name
by
right.
like a hair.
Run
By
back
a
the
hair.
tape. Run
I don't
back
know. I thought for sure Shawnee had it.
Look in the comments.
Look, I mean, they were on both. It says both 6:58. There's no
All right,
seconds.
whatever. Nah, whatever. Give it to him.
What do you call that? A tie?
I don't know. I might have beat him by a hair.
I think we should go first anyway. We're the winners.
It's because I spelled out the full name. Should have
Let
went
them go
real.
first. Let them go first.
No. After you. You guys go.
Oh,
All right.
ladies first. We're not worried about it.
Yeah, that's
Holy
why
crap.
you guys go first.
We'll take it.
Okay. All right.
Just
You,
doing it right.
Zay and Lucas. Round 1,
Oh,
WWE. I mean, I know you guys were talking about it. You did. So let's get it done and over
None of
with.
the new stuff.
You'll see. Name this wrestler.
Oh God.
Lucas and Zay up first. Your 30 seconds are on the clock now.
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman.
Come on now. That's cake.
Easy. All right, well done. Joe and Sean, how'd you feel about that? Would you have known that?
Oh yeah, boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
Real confident behind that one.
Yeah, the boogeyman.
All right, you
I
guys
actually
ready
did
for
know
your
that one.
question?
Yep.
Same thing. Name this wrestler.
Oh.
Come on.
Isn't that
I come
Rafiki?
Can I come in?
No
What is that
point.
guy's name? Yeah, can Trevor help me?
No.
No.
Isn't that's Rafiki? I think.
Nope. No course. No answers. No point for the wrong answer. No for the
I-
wrong answer.
Is that your final
I don't
answer?
Yes.
Rafiki?
Rafiki's from the Lion King.
All right, Zay and Lucas for the
Hey.
steal.
The
The
correct
father of Jimmy and Jay Uso.
Rikishi.
Thank you.
Ding.
Oh.
ding,
What did I just
ding.
say? Rikishi.
Rafiki. You said Rafiki.
I said Rikishi. Rikishi. I don't know what it is. I mean, give me a break. You're gonna bust me on a technicality? Get out of here.
There's a K there, not an F.
Nonsense.
This is not an F. That's a K. That's a K. If
It was a typo. I meant
A whole
Rafiki.
different character.
you spoke out a typo, is that what you're saying,
The
Joe?
fact that I even had any idea what his name was, I should get it. What's wrong with you guys?
All right.
You'll do better.
2-0 lead for Zay and Lucas. Going into round 2, the NBA. Does anyone want a double? Every person has a double.
Not yet.
Not yet?
On mine.
Okay. Zay and Lucas, name the player.
We're gonna make it easy.
Orlando Magic, Los Angeles Lakers, Miami Heat, Phoenix Suns.
Shaq Diesel.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You are correct.
Is my mic on? Did he hit it?
Yeah.
No,
he is.
yeah.
Okay.
Just gotta make sure, you know.
Yeah.
But now, same thing, same type of question to Joe and Sean. Name the player. The Celtics, the Raptors, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Pistons, the Nuggets, the Knicks, the Clippers, the Pistons. Who is
Carmelo
that?
Anthony.
No, that's not it.
Ay. Who?
This is.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a hard one. That's a very hard
Yeah,
one.
the other one was so much easier.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all should have went first.
This one's tough. Who played on the Pistons twice and the Nuggets
Who
twice?
tortured themselves twice in the NBA?
I know who
Ten.
this is.
Who is the guard? Who was the
Nine.
guard?
8,
Oh,
7,
I don't know who the guard was.
5, 4,
Started on the Celtics.
Not
3,
Allen Houston.
2.
No.
Allen.
Just yell out a name. I need one now. And
I don't know.
I got it. I think I got Zay. Do you
Lucas
have
and
an idea?
Zay. You got 15 seconds.
You got me on this one. You got it.
I think I got it. I'm gonna go with Tayshaun Prince. Fuck.
Who was it?
Chauncey
Billups.
Billups.
Chauncey Billups was on the Celtics? When?
Yeah, he was drafted by the Celtics. He only played like a couple games, but
I should have
he still
known
played.
Knicks, Clippers, Detroit. I should have known from that.
I saw Pistons twice, and I thought Tayshaun Prince and me.
That Shaq one was so much easier. Come on.
Hey, they're both NBA
And
champions.
the Detroit Pistons shouldn't even really count. 'cause
Yeah,
they-
we're talking about one of the best players of all time in Chauncey Billups. Like, come on.
All right. Okay. Round 3, sports video games.
This is new. All right.
Yeah?
We're
Is
here.
it, any of you guys want to double?
Nah,
New category?
not for
Joe and Sean, you guys got to make up some 3-0 start.
this for them.
Yeah.
Make it up quick.
All right.
Doubling it. Double this.
How many rounds do we have left?
There's
There's
7
7, right?
rounds.
7 rounds. We're in
We're
round 3.
I'll double up here. Let's do it.
we're a
Let's
second
do it.
half
Double?
team.
Double?
Let's go for it.
Isaiah,
All right.
Isaiah and Joe are doubling.
We're double.
Okay.
Confident about
So
this,
it's
Joe?
doubled. Both questions are doubled. This first one is for Zay and Lucas. Name the cover athlete. Madden 07.
Mother effer.
Oh, I know this one.
Oh.
Michael Vick. Oh, no. I'm tripping. Yeah. Wait, yeah. Isn't it Vic? 07 is Vic, isn't it? Hold on. Give me a second.
I know this one.
Yeah, Google it up. Go ahead. Where's the buzzer?
I don't need to.
Who's Googling?
10.
No, Vic was 04, I believe. Oh, 7.
5.
I still have it.
Oh, what's his name?
3.
Donovan McNabb.
2. And for the
Sean-
steal,
Sean
it's
Alex-
2 points.
Sean Alexander.
Sean
Alexander,
points.
Seahawks.
There we
I
go.
still
It's
have
a
that
1
game.
point
Yeah,
game.
damn,
It's
my
a
man.
1 point game.
I knew it.
Which one was
I knew it.
McNabb? It
McNabb was 05, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
Or no.
I don't
Ray
even-
Lewis was 05.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Donovan McNabb was.
All
What
right.
is it? 4-2? 3-2?
3-2. This is also doubled. Same type of question. Name that
For the
cover
lead.
athlete.
Oh,
4, Joe and Sean. NBA 2K9.
Oh boy.
Come on. Think.
Oh God. Huh.
What is 2K9? What year is that even?
2K09.
Like 2009?
Yeah.
Who was good in 2009? Who won the?
I think I got an idea. Lucas. I think.
The
10 seconds.
The Lakers beat the Magic in 09. So
Who? How about 08?
I was 08. The Celtics
That
beat
Celtics.
the Lakers.
5.
Kevin Garnett, I bet.
No,
One of those cats. Gotta be.
Actually, yeah, go with Garnett.
Garnett, final answer.
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, sure.
Ding, ding, ding.
Gotta be. He won a championships to cover guy, no?
Oh my god, no, not typically.
Yeah, I was.
It's always been in my.
I knew that one too. I wish we got.
I was gonna say Dwight Howard. I was thinking of NBA
That
Live.
irritated me. I wish we got.
That was a pull. That was impressive.
Way to pull that one out, Joe. Let's get it.
Well, dude, I don't really know the NBA. I'm thinking, well, who's on the cover? Whoever won the championship, probably that's the cover guy. No, isn't that how it works for the NBA? It's how I think it always has gone.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that's a good
4
one.
rounds. Let's get it. 4 rounds, Lucas. Let's get them all.
Crap.
All right. Here we go. Round 4. NHL. Any doubles?
Nope.
Any doubles?
All right.
Do we have skips?
Pass.
All right.
Yeah, not double. in this
Zay
one.
and Lucas, this is your guys' question. Name the city. Where was the Stanley Cup won in 2000? In the year 2000. Where was it won? Where did they hoist the Stanley Cup? These are big boy questions now, guys.
2000?
2000.
No clue.
Do you want me to just take a guess?
LA. I don't know.
Okay.
LA?
We'll go Los Angeles.
That is incorrect.
I know.
I don't know. I was gonna guess somewhere in Canada, probably. Maybe Vancouver.
In 2000?
Maybe
Is
Boston. I have no clue.
I want to say it was the New Jersey Devils.
No, but it's not. It's wait. Do they play?
They won it in '95, and they won it like every
5,
other year. I feel like
4, 3, 2.
Yeah, just go with that.
I'll
1.
say the Devils.
In New Jersey.
I need a city.
New Jersey.
It would be Newark, New Jersey, but that's incorrect. The Devils won in Dallas to clinch 4-2.
I like how you say it like you knew that outside of looking it up, though. Get break. Oh, patronizing and whatnot.
Hey,
well, let me
I'm
tell
the
you
host.
something.
That's what I get to do. That's
right.
one of the perks of being a host of a show like this.
All right, Alex Trebek, keep it up.
Even the Mighty Ducks.
All right.
I couldn't tell you.
All right, same question, Joe and Sean. Name the city. Where was the Stanley Cup won in 2015?
This is more recent.
30 seconds start now.
I have no idea.
Didn't
the
the
fact
King,
that you know 2000 and not 2015.
the Kings won a couple years ago? Did the Bruins win lately? I have no clue. I just started watching hockey like a couple months ago.
Here you go.
I don't know. 2015. Was that Tampa? Was Tampa Lightning that year?
No, that was more.
Was that more recent?
Yeah, that was like last year, I think. I want to say it was the Kings or Vegas one, I think, or I don't know. I want to say Los Angeles.
I think Chicago. Let's say Chicago.
Did the
3,
Chicago's always a good bet in hockey. Let's say
1. Give me something.
Chicago.
It's definitely Chicago, isn't it?
Chicago clinched 4-2 over the Lightning.
Oh, wait a minute. What? That was Lightning year. What the? Wow.
That's what I was.
Wow.
That was my guess, Isaiah. That was my
Joe
guess.
secretly sits at home and watches his hockey, even though
I feel like these last 5 second
I love hockey, eh?
I feel like he's just sitting on his computer looking.
right. We can't see his screen, so we don't know.
No.
Bro, I'm sitting right here.
Right here.
It's too
No,
magical.
I don't even know how to use the internet.
This is
We're nice with the
This
buzzer
is the
beaters.
second show, and we already have a cheating controversy. I love it.
like a
All right. Round 5. Both teams still have one double.
bro.
MLB.
Double.
I'll double this one.
No. You already did your double, Joe.
Oh, never mind.
I'm waiting for. Hopefully, there's NFL.
I'll double this one. T.
All right. So this is doubled. Only this first question is doubled
Nigga,
for Zay
we need
and
this.
Lucas.
We need this double.
Who are the players? There are going to be multiple. There's multiple answers to this question, so you will have a minute instead of 30 seconds.
Who are the
Figure
players?
it out. The players, plural.
I'm
There's
nervous.
multiple. 3 in 2009. The AL had 3 lead leaguers in saves. Who were they?
2009. I mean,
You have a minute.
Come on.
2009. I'm gonna. You know what?
Mariano Rivera playing it?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, he was.
Okay.
One of them. He's the greatest closer of all time. One of them has to be Mariano. Yeah.
Okay. We need 2 more.
All right. You know what? You want to lock that in?
You need 3 names.
3 players. 3.
Wait, I thought you said we only needed one of the 3.
No, I said it's more. Yeah, that's why you have a minute. You need multiple answers.
We need all 3. All right. Like, who's gonna remember 2009?
What the hell is this? Oh my god! All right, we'll go Mariano Rivera.
Who's the closer on Boston in 2009?
Who knows?
Shut up.
Mariano Rivera.
It's not even fair. I'm a Mets fan. I couldn't tell.
Fuck.
Sucks to suck.
You got time. Talk it over. Come on. Work as a team, guys.
You don't got that much time. It's almost been a minute.
No, there's multiple answers, so it's only a minute.
2009, bro.
Mariano Rivera. Let's keep saying that.
All right.
I think I know 2 of them, Joe.
I don't even know who the best teams in 2009
I'm
were.
pretty sure I know. I think I know it, and I know specifically
5,
who the National League guy
4,
was. And I don't
3,
think
2.
his name's not in the comments. I can see that too.
All right.
All right. That's it.
That it?
Just Mariano Rivera.
I was
Joe,
gonna say,
you got 30 seconds.
I was gonna say
I don't even
Rivera
need
and Papelbon.
No, it was Joe Nathan,
Oh,
Rivera,
that's the
and
Twins.
Colorado's guy Brian Fuentes had.
No, that's
48
the NL.
saves.
That's the NL.
Nope, he maybe put it in, lock it in. He locked
Trust
it
me, that's what it was.
No, it's the
10.
American League. The American League.
He's locking it in. He's locking it
Rockies
in.
are in the National
Locked it in.
League.
That's what he said.
I'm
Trust
sorry,
me.
I didn't mean to Colorado, Anaheim.
5.
Anaheim's closer. It's Brian Fuentes, Joe Nathan, and Mariano Rivera.
That's what you're going with?
That's my answer.
Good job.
Come on, guys.
Look at you, Joe.
Baseball. We should have doubled up. Told you.
Damn.
I'm waiting for football.
Okay.
We'll be good.
All right. There we go.
Left that
Now
alone.
it's your guys' question. This one.
It has to be out of reach.
Wait, do
man.
we get double points for
No,
that?
that was doubled. That one was doubled. So, yes, it's 7-3 now.
All right, it's done. It's over, Isaiah. We'll get him next time.
Smoked. It's
Hey,
cooked.
we still need to pad the stats, right? Who are these
Yes,
players? And you have to double at some point, Sean. In 2012, the AL East had 3 out of the 4 lead leaguers at bats. Who are they? You got a minute?
You're asking for the league leader in at bats?
Yeah.
What? What even possessed you? I don't even understand the question.
It was
What kind of question was this, Chase?
The AL East had 3 of the 4 league leaders in at bats.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
In
think of
2012.
Can't even
I'm
Google
thinking of
it.
leadoff guys that didn't get hurt throughout the year. Did
I'm
Brett
gonna
Gardner
say-
lead off for the Yankees?
Brett Gardner would have been, the leadoff hitter. Robinson Cano was the 2 hitter, and he played 160 games, so I'm sure he's on that list. Boy.
The Rays and the Orioles, and the Blue Jays too.
Who was on the Red Sox in 2012?
That was like the worst year for the Red Sox.
You guys got 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean Pedroia was still in the squad.
Hello.
5.
We can still steal.
4.
I'm gonna say Robbie Cano's got to be one of them. Maybe
Gardner,
Pedroia and Gardner.
Okay.
All right, for the steal,
that's a tough
30
one.
seconds.
All right, we'll go Mike Trout, Brett Gardner,
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout. He said AL East, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
AL.
yes.
Yeah.
Shoot, I thought it said.
Oh, I
AL.
shouldn't have said
All right,
that.
Brett Gardner, Dustin Pedroia, and who the hell hit leadoff for the Rays?
10.
Julio Lugo.
Maybe
5.
Carl Crawford,
4.
Evan Longoria.
2.
right?
1.
Evan Longoria, lock it in.
Derek Jeter, J.J. Hardy, and Adam Jones.
I was gonna say Adam Jones.
Derek
I would have
Jeter.
never gotten JJ Hardy though.
Y'all
JJ
Yankee fans.
Hardy.
Y'all didn't even know Derek Jeter was on the team in 2012? Oh, man.
I didn't even think of Derek Jeter.
Yeah, none of y'all got Jeter. Like, I felt bad about this question, but you guys
No,
not
you
getting
didn't.
Jeter. No, I did. I did once you guys said that, but none of you said Jeter.
Yeah,
So that's
because
on
when you say
guys.
AL East, everybody thinks Baltimore Orioles. Good question. Good question.
Yeah, I was
That
like,
was
Adam
really
Jones.
brilliant.
It's
Why
not
would
your fault. We live in Connecticut, so obviously.
why would you even say AL East? Why don't you just ask who the league leaders in at bats were?
Joe,
And
are you
why
really
make this any
leading
more
and
specific?
complaining?
Look,
Are
listen,
you really, like, you're in the lead right now, and you're bitching?
I could be
For
crushing
real?
these guys, crushing them.
questions, bro.
I don't
All right.
like these questions. They're loaded. I don't like it.
We got 2 more
We're not
rounds.
happy with 7 points.
Technically, Lucas and Zay, you guys are still alive. There's still points on the board. 4 points on the board. Send it to OT. That means they can't get any right, and you got to get all of them right. And round 6 is movies.
There better be football at the end. I don't.
Movies.
I don't-
Double up.
Lucas.
Don't try to quote us for the Titanic or something.
Oh yeah, Sean still has his double, so there's 5 points left on the board.
Open
So,
books.
I don't.
Round 7 is books.
All right,
I might just
Zay
wait for the last one. to
and
double.
Lucas. Here we go.
All right.
Name the 2014 movie based off these 3 songs off its soundtrack. Ain't No Mountain High Enough, I Want You Back, and Ooh Ooh Child.
We're not getting those 5 points.
Hairspray.
2014 movie.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
What kind of question is this? God.
This one's an actual good question. It's not my fault you guys don't know movies.
Is it a popular movie?
Yeah, because I'm sorry. I don't sit around thinking, oh my God, I want you back. I'm going to remember this movie forever.
You guys got 10 seconds.
2014, bro.
Oh,
If Joe
5,
gets this, I'm gonna shit myself.
4,
I gotta guess.
3,
And
2.
it seems like
you
it
guys
would
ain't
be-
got no guess?
I know
Pirate-
exactly what it is because
Pirate-
of Jace.
Caribbean.
Pirates. Okay. Let's go. For the steal, 15 seconds.
I swear
That
to
song's
God.
in Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's what I was gonna say.
Is that right?
Was it 2014 though?
Get the hell
There we go.
out.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
How often do you hear Marvin Gaye in movies, you guys?
Wait, when did Guardians? When did they play?
Ain't no mountain high. Remember the Titans.
No,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
Guardians?
Ain't no Mountain Highs in a bunch of movies, Joe.
Yeah, but
Like,
what part is that in Guardians of the Galaxy?
It's on the soundtrack. That's
It's on
all.
the soundtrack,
I know.
bro.
And it is. I can't.
Doesn't mean it
No,
plays during the movie.
Hey, it says on the soundtrack.
That means that you're gonna play in the credits.
It
Right.
probably did.
This is corrupt.
No, it was in.
Ain't no mountain
I gotta rewatch this
high
now. Okay.
enough.
Now, just to pad the stats here, Joe and Sean,
I give you the last
same
one.
thing, but it's 1993. Slow Ride Foghat, Tush ZZ Top, School's Out by Alice Cooper. 30 seconds start now.
Oh God.
The Ninja Turtles.
Titanic.
Richmond High. Fast Times at Richmond High.
I want to say that is the movie Rush.
10 seconds.
93.
Going
That
Rush.
93 is my senior year.
5.
Slow Ride from
4,
Foghat. Let's go with Rush.
Dazed and Confused.
And
I was 1 in 90.
Zay and Lucas, 15 seconds.
You got one?
Bro, I was 1 in 93.
I was born in 99.
If you guys don't have one, you can phone a friend, Trev.
All right, Trevor, you got one?
Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I got it. I'm so stupid.
I
I just thought of it. Wrong movie. I know what it is. It's just so easy.
have no idea.
Look who's talking. I don't know. Who's talking?
All right, let's lock that in.
No, that's 1989. Stop that.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's Dazed and Confused, right?
It's Dazed and Confused.
I said that.
Who said it?
I literally said that. I said Dazed and Confused.
Oh, that's right.
Trevor gets 1 point.
I got a point for freaking.
Trevor-
I get 2 points.
Trevor wasn't even playing. Now we came in last place. Nice job.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at
I
that.
could have done well on this.
Lucas and Zay, you guys came in second thanks to Trevor.
All right.
You guys are not the ultimate losers.
Yeah, it was Dazed and Confused. Okay, there we go. Here you go, Sean. Here you go.
Johnny's
NFL.
doubling.
It has to be doubled. It's the final round. But all right.
I'm doubling too.
God.
Lucas and Zay
doubling.
for NFL.
Let's hope they don't get it.
Name the Super Bowl run. Beat Miami 38-3 in the divisional round. Beat the New York Jets 23-10 AFC Championship, and then beat Atlanta 34-19 in Super Bowl 33.
Oh my God! Come on.
33. That's a
I know
lot.
this one.
That's the
Yes.
Hey, it's
the what?
That's the Broncos. It's got to be the Broncos, right? Didn't the Broncos?
It's not
beat-
your question.
Oh,
You have to find a new question, Jace. Do another Super Bowl run.
No. That's Joe's fault.
No, that is 10 seconds.
I guess we'll lock in the Broncos.
That is correct. The 1999 Denver Broncos.
I watched that game at a bar. Oh God!
We were gifted a point.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get this
You
double.
know what's funny? Joe, you could have messed it up where y'all had to double this, and we could have tied it at 7 if y'all didn't get 1 extra point. We're supposed to have 5 now, not 4 or 5.
By the way, that week I cannot for the life of me think of his name, but the cornerback for Atlanta got busted with a prostitute, and he was like the NFL's Man of the Year for his community service.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
All right. Double the points just for the
Andre
stats.
Rison? Oh,
No, it was the cornerback. I can't think of his name offhand. If you said it, I would remember it.
Sean
Everyone Wheatley.
and Joe. Here we go. Beat San Francisco. 31 to
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2003. Let's
Gruden.
go. Are we done?
After you left Oakland. Yep.
There we go.
Come on!
Coming in.
Oh, does
Dominating.
anybody, hey, does anybody remember who the San Francisco 49ers played in the wild card game?
The Giants.
Yeah, it was 38-14.
That was that.
Scoreboard. Strahan, shut up.
Yep.
Idiot. That's why you don't play zone defense when you're up by 3 scores.
Thank you, Terrell Owens.
There we go. Joe
I
and
gotta get in
Look
on
at
this.
that.
I think I could do pretty well in this game by myself.
Trev, you had 1 point.
Man, I could have got the Denver Bronco one. I helped you get the freaking Dazed and Confused one. 93 boy, huh? Yeah, you know your times.
1-1, just 1-1.
Who said? Someone said Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and I'm like, oh, they got it. That was okay.
No,
That was me too.
All right.
I'm an oldie too, boys and girls.
All right. So, yeah, we will continue this. This will be its own show eventually.
Good job, Joe.
But congrats to Joe and Sean
So we killed him.
for
You carried the load today, but we got
getting their revenge. Now we just need a rubber match to see who truly has the biggest
Watch
brain.
it,
Hey, wow.
It's coming. It's coming.
But all right, that's gonna do it for John about the G-Men. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Thank you. Okay, Zay.
Get the losers off the screen. They don't deserve to share screen time with Shawnee and I. We want a little bit of credit before we walk out. Zay's all flipping us off. No, come on. We want a round of applause on the way out. I just dominated at trivia.
Hey, I didn't kick you
On a
out,
sports
Zay.
podcast. What's better than that?
All right. Thank you,
I don't know where the
Joe,
movie
Sean, Zay, and then thanks, Trev and Lucas, for joining me.
It's sabotage. This is what I'm talking about. The game is sabotage. They're trying to sabotage our post game. Yeah, you know what?
All right.
Rematch.
So
I
we
need
will
to
be
cry
back.
about it.
We ain't gonna get that rematch.
There needs to be a rubber match.
No. We're gonna get that rematch, and then we're gonna take down the Keys brothers after that.
You know where to find us.
Good luck.
Call out has been made, bro.
Zay, you got to
All
get
right.
past them
Only-
first.
Only UFC fighters make call outs after they lose. This is cool.
All right. Okay. Thank you guys all for joining me. Thank you guys. Thanks everyone watching and listening. We will see you next week for more John about the G-Men. So take care.